Good morning. Today we are going to start the new topic of trigonometry. In the previous video we tried to learn the similarity and the application of similarity, right? Now here we are going to actually start trigonometry, where we will learn about the very basic thing is called as trigonometrical ratio. We will today now begin with trigonometrical ratio, right? What is a trigonometrical ratio? Now you can look at this right angle triangle. As I told you that trigonometry deals with the right angle triangle, right? So this is any right angle triangle in which this is 90-degree angle. This is the notation for marking the 90-degree angle. Is this very clear? Now also I told you on the in the very first video that for trigonometry, along with this angle, we also need one angle either from here or this one. So other than this, we also require one more angle. Only then the trigonometrical ratios can be described, right? So suppose if the angle is at this vertex, right? If the angle is at this vertex, and then suppose the name of this vertex is A. Name of this vertex is A, right? And then we can use the same name to name this angle also. This angle of this name also we can call it as A. Is it very clear? And in the beginning I told you that in trigonometry the name of these two legs are not fixed. It is depending on the location of the angle. So when the angle is at this vertex, this will be called as the base, or we can also call it as adjacent side, and this will be then called as perpendicular, or this will be called as opposite side. Opposite side because this is the side which is opposite to this angle, so this is also called as opposite side. Is this very clear? And then this is always hypotenuse. So with this triangle we are now going to see the fundamental trigonometrical ratio. There are three fundamental trigonometrical ratio, right? And the one is sine, angle is sine, right? And then this term always has to be with one angle, otherwise it is meaningless. Okay, so sine we are calculating the trigonometrical ratios in terms of this angle. So with this we will have the angle A. Is this very clear? Then we have another trigonometrical ratio as cos. This also in terms of angle A. And then we have another third one as tan, and this is also with angle A. Is this okay? Now, in order to explain the trigonometrical ratio, we will be comfortable if we can have name of all the three vertices. So the name of this vertex we have taken as A, then we can name this as B, and this we can take as C. Am I clear? Because I have already marked the angle here, that means this angle is going to be taken into account. Is it okay? Now, we need to know that this trigonometrical ratio of sine A is the ratio of opposite side to hypotenuse, right? Hypotenuse. Where what is opposite side? BC. And what is hypotenuse? Is AC. So this becomes the ratio of sine A. And we need to remember this. You have to memorize. This is very simple, because when you solve some 5-10 questions, automatically you will be able to remember, and then you will be able to remember it forever. Nobody forgets it. Okay. Now next one is cos. Cos A. The ratio of this cos A used to be adjacent side divided by hypotenuse. Now if you look at the diagram, your adjacent side name is AB and the hypotenuse name is AC. Is it okay? So this becomes the ratio of your cos A. You need to remember that cos A, cos is always adjacent side over hypotenuse, sine is opposite side over hypotenuse. And then last one is the tan A. Tan A is the ratio of opposite side divided by adjacent side. And therefore the ratio of this will be opposite side means it will be BC, and then adjacent side name is AB. So this is the ratio for trigonometrical ratio of tan. Am I understood? One extra thing I will tell you is that this tan A, which we got it as opposite side over adjacent side, right? We also need to know that this tan A is actually the ratio of sine A over cos A. This tan A is actually the ratio of sine over cos. So if I write sine A over cos A, clear? Now you know what is sine A. You have calculated opposite side divided by hypotenuse divided by, now cos A you have written adjacent side divided by, again hypotenuse. Okay, so actually the tan A is the ratio of the tan A result. What we have got is opposite side over adjacent side. How we got this one? I am trying to explain you how the ratio of tan A is opposite side over adjacent side. This is because actually it is the ratio of sine over cos, and therefore I wrote the ratio of sine A, and also I wrote the ratio of cos A. Now hypotenuse is cancelled. What is left is opposite side divided by adjacent side, and this is how we get this result for tan A, which is equal to BC over AB. Okay, so we need to remember these three results. Sine A is BC, sine A is opposite side over hypotenuse, cos A is adjacent side over hypotenuse, right? In this sine and cos, the denominator is same, hypotenuse. In sine A, numerator will be opposite side, cos A, the numerator will be adjacent side. And then when you write the tan A, you have to write this in the numerator and this in the denominator, and you can remember the trigonometrical ratio. Is it okay? So now we know about the three fundamental trigonometrical ratio. Along with this three fundamental trigonometrical ratio, it's very important also to remember the Pythagoras theorem, because I told you last time, in trigonometry we often use Pythagoras theorem. Clear? Whenever length of one side is missing, we can calculate the length of the missing side by using the Pythagoras theorem. So now you will see the application of the trigonometrical ratio. I will show you the use of trigonometrical ratio. Clear? Operation on trigonometrical ratio. Thank you. Alright, now we are going to start with question number 1. Right? Question number 1, it says determine the sine, cosine and tangent for each angle A. Right? So we have to find out the three trigonometrical ratios in terms of angle A. Is it very clear? So let us see how do we do this. So let us find out. As you can see, the first figure is you have a triangle, you have a right angle triangle. Is it okay? You have a right angle triangle. In this right angle triangle, we are given angle A, and also we are given the measurement of the two sides, 3 and 4. So this is the information we are given, and with the help of this we are asked to write all the three trigonometrical ratios: sine A, sine, cos A and tan A. So now in order to find out the three trigonometrical ratios, we need to know the measurement of all the three sides. We need to know the measurement of all the three sides. And here in the diagram, we are only given the length of the two sides. That means the third side is missing. And so we have to first of all calculate the length of the missing side, and only then we can find out all the three trigonometrical ratio. So let us find out the length of this hypotenuse using Pythagoras theorem. So using Pythagoras theorem, Is it okay? Using Pythagoras theorem. So first of here I am showing you the calculation of question number 1a. Question number 1a. Now using Pythagoras theorem, since the hypotenuse is missing, so h square will be equal to p square plus b square. You know the Pythagoras theorem, and then square will be shifted to the other side. So h will become equal to root over p square plus b square. Am I clear? Now let us put the value. P is 3, so 3 square plus 4 square. This is equal to 9 plus 16 root over. This is equal to root over 25, and 25 is a square number, perfect square, therefore it can be written as 5, right? So the length of this we got is 5. The length of the hypotenuse we got is 5. Now it's a very simple task. Now we have to write down all the three trigonometrical ratio. So we will write the three trigonometrical ratio. So first of all, sine of A. You know the ratio of the sine of A is opposite side divided by hypotenuse. You have to know this, hypotenuse, right? If you know this, then you can easily take the value. Opposite side for this angle, this is the opposite side. So 3, right? This color is not supporting very good. So 3 over hypotenuse, that is 5. So this becomes the trigonometrical ratio of sine A. Likewise, you have to find out for cos A. Cos A is equal to, this is adjacent side divided by hypotenuse, and now from the diagram you can know that adjacent side is 4 and hypotenuse is 5. Okay, last one is tan A. We have to find out all the three trigonometrical ratio in terms of angle A. So this is opposite side. Every time I will write the ratio, so you can remember just by watching this video itself. And this is adjacent side. Denominator is adjacent side. Clear? From the diagram, the opposite side is 3 and adjacent side is 4, and this becomes your answer. So we have learned how to calculate how to find the three trigonometrical ratio in terms of an angle if the measurement of all the three sides are given. Clear? Thank you. Now we are moving on to question number 2. Right? Question number 2. This question number 2 also is the same. We are given the diagram and we have to find out the three trigonometrical ratios in terms of that given angle. So the question is exactly same. But still I am doing one example, one question from one part from question number 2. This is because here you will be getting answer in decimal. In the previous question, you have got the answer in whole number. One side was 3 unit, other side was 4 unit, and then the hypotenuse you calculated, it came as 5 unit. So all the informations were given to you, it was in whole number. So that is why. And now in this question, it is exactly same to same, but only the thing is some values you will get in decimal. So for that reason, I thought that I will take one question from question number 2 also. Okay. So question number 2. First of all, I will show you the diagram that we have. The diagram we have is again a right angle triangle. Right? This is a right angle triangle in which the measurement of the sides we are given is, one is given as 12, another is given as 33. Is it okay? One is given as 12, another is given as 33. Now And then angle we have given is angle A. Angle A. Angle is given as A. That means we have to write down, we have to calculate all the three trigonometrical ratio in terms of angle A. Is it okay? So since you are going to calculate the trigonometrical ratio in terms of angle A, obviously the name of this side will be adjacent side and the name of this will be opposite side. Is it okay? So now we are going to start. Now to start this work, along with these two sides, we also need to have the length of this hypotenuse. That is why I said that this question also is exactly same as the previous question, right? This is question number 2A. Solution of 2A. So here we are going to again use Pythagoras theorem. So there is no difference between this question and previous question. Using Pythagoras theorem, okay, h square is equal to e square plus b square. I have the habit of writing formula with every question. So if you are watching my video carefully, just by watching my video also you will be able to remember all the formula, right? So now let us find h. So h will be equal to root over e square plus b square. Because in question number 2 it is said very clearly that you have to find out the trigonometrical ratios up to 2 place of decimal. Up to 2 place of decimal. So now let us put it. So 12 square plus 33 square. Am I clear? 12 square plus 33 square. 12 square means 144, right? And 33 square means 1089. 1089. Am I very clear? Now, when you add these two, you are getting as 1233. If you remember in the previous question, question number 1, you got that value as 25 and 25 was a perfect square. Because of that, you could get the value of hypotenuse as a whole number. But here, unfortunately, this 1233 is not a perfect square. So you will get the answer of this part into decimal. And because of this decimal only, the answers are all going to come in decimal. Is this okay? So you can use the calculator and then find the value of this one. And the value of this is coming as 35.11. 35.11. This is the value of your hypotenuse. Your hypotenuse is calculated to be 35.11. And now we can find all the three trigonometrical ratio. We will find all the three trigonometrical ratio. Sine A. Is, you know, it is opposite side. Every time I am writing the formula, that will help you to remember from here. Opposite side divided by hypotenuse, right, is equal to, opposite side is 12 and hypotenuse is how much? 35.11. 35.11. Am I very clear? Now, if you want, you can calculate the value of this in decimal also. That I am not going to do. Cos of A is equal to this. The ratio of cos is adjacent side divided by hypotenuse. Now, are you able to remember the ratios? Ratio of sine A, ratio of cos A. Please keep eye on what I am writing. And adjacent side is 33 and then divided by 35.11. This also, if you want, you can write in decimal. Then the last one is 10A. 10A, this is the ratio of opposite side divided by adjacent side. 10A is opposite side over adjacent side. For your benefit, I am repeating also. Now, this will be 12 over 33. This also, if you want, you can write in decimal. So, this is how we did question number 2. The other part of question number 2, you will do by yourself as assignment. This is very clear? Thank you. Now, we are moving on to question number 3. This question number 3 is a very simple question. Question number 3 is determine the sine, cosine and tangent for each angle. So we are given some 4 different questions. We have to find the value of the 3 trigonometrical ratios for the particular angle. So this question is very easy. You can do it by just using calculator, right? If I show you the one part of this question number 3 is the angle that is given to us is 35 degree. We are given the value. See how you are going to do this question and why I said that this question is too easy for you. You have nothing to understand, nothing to do. Is this okay? This is just based on knowledge. You have to use calculator. You can solve this question just by using calculator. You will also find out the value of 3 trigonometrical ratio for this particular angle. Okay? So I will calculate. I will show you first of all what will be your responsibility. What will be our responsibility is sine of 35 you write down. Right? Then you write down cos of 35. Right? And then you write down tan of 35. Now that means you are going to calculate the value of this trigonometrical ratio for this angle, value of cos at 35 degree angle and value of tan at 35 degree angle. Just put equal to sign. Clear? This will be your work. This will be your part. And after this the remaining will be done by the calculator. So in the calculator you can type sine and then 35. You will get the answer. So sine 35, cos 35 and tan 35. So I will try to see sine 35, how much it is coming. Sine 35, right? It is coming as 0.42. Its value is coming as 0.42. That's it. Very simple, no? Then similarly, you can type cos 35. This is 0.90. You have to write the answer up to 2 places of decimal. So we are writing up to 2 places of decimal. Then last one is tan 35. So the value of this one is 0.47. That's it. Only this much you have to do. Am I very clear? So this is how we have to do question number 3. Question number 3. Is it okay? Now, likewise, question number 4 is another very simple question. Question number 4 is very simple question. Question number 4 says find the angle for which the value of the trigonometrical is given as shown, as given. Is this okay? That means here in the previous question we calculated the value for a particular angle, and now in this question you have to find out the angle. Just opposite. Previous question you calculated the value. Now here in this question number 4 you have to calculate the angle. Are you getting me? Once again I repeat. Previous question number 3 you calculated the value. Now in question number 4 you have to calculate the angle. So value you calculated when the angle was given. Now this time the value is given. So calculate the angle. Calculate the angle. Very simple task. Here also you have nothing to do, right? You can get the answer just by using the calculator. So the question is, what will be your part? Your question is, question number 4 is sine of x. Sine of x. This is given as equal to 0.85. Right? I will write all the 3 questions first of all. B is cos x is equal to 0.24. And then the last part is tan x is equal to 0.2. So this is your question, right? Now you can see here the values are given. Right? And what is to be calculated is the angle. So how are we going to calculate the angle? What will be your part and what will be the calculator work? Okay? So your work will be, since you are going to calculate x, sine will be moved to the other side. So we will write this as x is equal to, let me write this in a different color in order to help you in a better way. X will be equal to sine, because when this sine goes to the other side it will change into inverse, sine inverse, and then 0.85. This will be your work. Okay? After that you can go use the calculator, press shift and then press sign. You will get the sign in inverse. After that, you have to type 0.85. Is it very clear? And the answer of this you will get as 0. Answer of this we will see. Okay, we will see. Now similarly here x is equal to it will be cos of inverse, because cos will go to the other side, it will change into inverse, and then you will write 0.24. And then here also similarly x is equal to tan inverse, right, 0.2, right. So using the calculator, the value of this I calculated, it is 58.21. 58.21. 58.21. This is the value. And similarly, the value of this part is 76.11. 76.1 or 76.11. This is angle, right? This is angle. And then the value of this part is 11.30. 11.30. So how interesting and how easy it is, no? These questions are bonus questions. You were asked to calculate the angle, so you wrote this sine x value was given as this much. So you calculated the value of x by sending the sine to the other side. So you wrote this as sine inverse 0.85, and then using the calculator you calculated this value. So it's very simple. Here also cos is shifted to the other side. It became x is equal to cos inverse 0.24. Using the calculator we get the value 76.11, and then likewise this also. Hope this question is very clear. So this is question number 4. Thank you. Now we are moving on to question number 5, and this is activity based question. This is activity type question. Very simple situation. Very simple situation. The question number 5 says, draw 3 triangles, one to fit each description. So that means there are 3 descriptions given to us. There are 3 questions, and for each description we have to draw a triangle. For each situation we have to draw a triangle, okay, which satisfies the given condition. Is it okay? So this is a very simple task. Let us see. They are asking us to just draw one triangle, but then we can draw infinite triangle for the given situation. The question is, the first, I am going to teach you just one question, question number 5a, right? Question number 5a is the sine of an angle is 0.7. Sine of angle is 0.7. Sine of one angle, okay? Sine of one angle. So maybe suppose that angle is A, okay? That angle is A. So sine of angle A is given as equal to 0.7. So this is the situation given to you, and for this situation you have to draw one triangle, okay? As I told you, for this situation we can draw infinite triangle, but then we have to just give one example. So I will show you how to draw a triangle for this situation. But please remember, for this question, because as I told you that there are infinite possibility, your answer may not match with the book answer, because you take one triangle and the book might have taken other triangle. Therefore, here for this question, please do not go for the answer. Just go for the concept. Is it very clear? So, we are now going to do the exercise, workout, to find out a triangle for this given situation. Am I clear? So, we know that this is the trigonometric ratio of sine. And the ratio, what is the ratio of this trigonometric ratio sine? I gave you for several times. Do you remember? Can you speak with me? The ratio of sine A? It is opposite side over hypotenuse. So, we know it is opposite side over hypotenuse. Is this okay? Now, you have the ratio of this in the fractional form. You have this trigonometric ratio in the form of ratio. But the value that you have is given in the decimal. So if this also can be converted into ratio, if this can also be converted into ratio, the purpose will be solved. There only you will get the answer. So let us express this in the fractional form, in the ratio form. So you know that every number is a fractional number. When there is no denominator, it is obviously always 1. So 0.7 can be written as 0.7 over 1. Clear? Now you can connect this with this one. You will get the answer. According to this ratio, what is in the numerator is 0.7. That means that will become the length of your opposite side. And 1 is in the denominator, so it will become the length of your hypotenuse. Clear? So just by writing this in the fractional form, you got one possibility, one of the triangle whose opposite side can be 0.7 and hypotenuse can be 1. Now you know, if you know the length of any two sides in a right angle triangle, by using Pythagoras theorem, we can calculate the missing side. Is this okay? So we can now use the Pythagoras theorem and we can calculate the length of the hypotenuse. Am I very clear? But I will not go for this measurement because you are not very comfortable operating the decimal number. Therefore, we will find out another possibility, another triangle with some other measurement. So for that, what we can do is we can try to remove we will simplify this and we will try to remove the decimal number. So when you remove the decimal number, you will obviously multiply this by 10 and then you will multiply this also by 10. So numerator becomes 7 and denominator becomes 10. Now this became here another possibility. One possibility, one of the triangle was with opposite sides is 0.7 and hypotenuse as 1 unit. And then you thought that maybe this triangle will be very small and drawing will be also not very good. Therefore, we made some changes. We can multiply this numerator and denominator by any number we want, not necessarily by 10 only. Or we can multiply this numerator and denominator by 2, by 3, by 4, by 5. We have infinite number, and that is why I told you that we can have infinite answer for this question. By any one's number, by any same number, you can multiply the numerator and denominator, and you can go on finding different sets of opposite side and hypotenuse. Is this okay? So I will just go with this one. So for me, with this measurement, the length of my hypotenuse opposite side will be 7 and length of hypotenuse will be 10. Now I need to know what will be my base, what will be my adjacent side. So using Pythagoras theorem, right? We are going to find out B. So B square will be equal to H square minus P square. This square will shift to that side. So already I have shifted. So anyway, fine. Okay. Now H square is 10 square minus P square means 7 square, right? And therefore this will be 100 minus 49, and then it is root over 51. So we can find out the value of root 51. Root 51 we can find out and we can get the answer. Root of 51. So it is coming as 7.1. 7.1. Is it alright? So this way, now we got one triangle and we can now draw a triangle with this given measurement. So a rough diagram. This is angle A, suppose, then the opposite side will be 7, right? The base we calculated 7.1 and then the hypotenuse is 10. So this is the triangle that we have drawn. So it's very clear, no? Your value was given in decimal. First of all, you have changed that into fractional form, and then you have multiplied it by any other number. You got the measurement of the opposite side and the hypotenuse, and now the third side can be calculated by using the Pythagoras theorem, and then you can draw a rough diagram. You are asked to draw, not construct. This is to draw. Draw means you can draw it with a rough hand. Am I very clear? But as far as possible, try to draw it as neat as possible. Thank you. Now we are moving on to the last question of this exercise. Question number 6. Question number 6 is very interesting. This is a really smart question, right? Here you need to have some intelligence, right? The question is, the sign of A is greater than the sign of B. So I will write down what the question says. Question says sign of sine of angle A, sine of angle A is greater than sine of angle B. Is this okay? Sine of angle A is greater than sine of angle B. This means what? This means the value of this trigonometrical ratio is greater than the value of this trigonometrical ratio. That's the meaning. Okay? When it is said that sine A is greater than sine B, it means the value of this trigonometrical ratio is greater than the value of this trigonometrical ratio. Now the question says, if it is so, if the value of trigonometrical ratio of sine A is greater than the value of trigonometrical ratio of sine B, then what do you say about angle A and angle B? Then what will be the relation between angle A and angle B? Right? Means when the value of this trigonometrical ratio is greater than this trigonometrical ratio, then what is the relation? What do you say about angle A and angle B? Is angle A greater than angle B? Because sine A is greater than sine B. So is it that angle A is greater than angle B? Or is it angle B greater than angle A? What is the possibility? So we have to now find out by doing the activity. Am I very clear? So now to do this question, we will, because it is said that the value of sine A is greater than the value of sine B, so we will assume a value of sine A. So let sine A, any value of sine A you can take, any value, right? But please remember that the value of trigonometrical ratio of sine is always between 0 to 1 only. You cannot take any value, right? You have to know the ranges. You have to know the range. The range for the sine and cos, right, for any angle cannot be less than 0 or cannot be more than 1. So I will take the value of sine A as 0.5. Suppose I took the value of sine A as 0.5. Now according to this situation, sine A is greater than sine B. Now that means I will take a value of sine B for this situation, I will take a lesser value, 0.4. Because the question says that sine A is greater than sine B. So I have to assume the value accordingly only. Am I clear? So when the sine A is 0.5, right, I will keep some space. Sine B I will write here. Sine B I will write here so that I can do the calculation. I will assume this as 0.4. So now if sine A is greater than 0.5, is this okay? Then what would be the angle? How you calculate the angle? You have already seen in the previous question when the value is given how you calculated the angle. Same way we will calculate. So A sine will be sent to right hand side. So it will become sine inverse 0.5. Right? And using the calculator, you can find the value of this sine 0.5. Clear? And then likewise, this B will be equal to sine inverse of 0.4. And we will have the value of this also. Clear? So we'll find the value and then we'll be back. So using the calculator, when I calculated the value of sine inverse 0.5, I got it as equal to 30 degree. I got this as 30 degree. And when I calculated sine inverse 0.4, the value I got was 23.52. 23.52. Now you can give the conclusion. When sine A was greater than sine B, we took a value of sine A greater than the value of sine B. And then when we calculated the angle, what we found is angle A is greater than angle B. That means when sine A is greater than sine B, angle A also will be greater than angle B. So this is the final conclusion. So therefore angle A will be greater than angle B, and this is your final result. Clear? Thank you so much. With this we have done the practicing and applying of page number 242. Right? This is we are done with exercise on page number 242. Clear? So please keep practicing. Stay safe, stay home, and enjoy learning maths. Thank you so much. Take care.